This broadcast of the NRL was proudly brought to you by Scale Rice, Milo, Ella Motors, Lay Biscuit Company, Flame Oil, and SP Brewery.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Students from the 6 Ahi villages of Morbe province received school bags from their landowner company. Ahi Hope Foundation successfully completed the Ahi School Pack distribution, which is part of the 2023 Community Social Responsibility Priority Programs and Projects. The distribution took place over 3 days, starting on Friday, June 9th, and concluding today, Monday, June 12th. On the first day, grades 1 to 8 students from Wangang, Yanga, and Butibam received their school packs. Yalu and Hengali students received their packs the following day, while the distribution concluded at Kamkumung village today. The project cost 220,000 kina. CSR manager of Ahi Hope Foundation, Willard Bogan, said providing the school necessities empowers students to attend school, and it makes a tangible contribution towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal on quality education and zero poverty. Schools in New Ireland Province are observing the public holiday today. The Office of the New Ireland Provincial Administration Social Services confirmed that since the public holiday, Queen's birthday was already included in the 2023 academic calendar. CEO Apellis Benson has given the approval for students to stay home today. When the nation observes June 16th as the official King's birthday, students in New Ireland will continue with their school activities. Public servants and the business community, on the other hand, will observe the public holiday on Friday. Work has commenced into the rehabilitation of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force. This includes the recent signing of the Defence Cooperation Agreement with the United States to assist rebuild the capacity of the PNG-DF. The Prime Minister said in Friday's Parliament sitting that more care is taken in the deployment of military personnel on specific call-outs. High among them was border protection. He was responding to concerns over disciplinary issues by members of the Defence Force posted to Western Province to man the PNG-Indonesia border.
I'm fully aware of all these issues, if not most of them. We have had erosion in our entire Defence Force for many, many years. That was part of the reason why the DCA had to be stepped up to partner the biggest military in the whole world to come in and partner us in terms of our sovereign border protections and capacity upskilling or capacitating our defense at the very earliest. But coming back to the issue, you would have most of you would have known, Mr. Acting Speaker, it was in 2022, just last year. In fact, a little over a year ago, when we replaced the defense commander, we felt that the leadership at Murray Barracks was also weakened, and a lot of discipline issues at many of our defense posts. And with respect to the previous commander, we felt that a new leadership needs to take place at Murray Barracks. Mr. Acting Speaker, I want to report to you and to the Parliament and to our country, the new commander, as a career military man, very disciplined, has taken strong leadership in Murray Barracks in the last year or two, and changes are taking place, especially in relation to discipline. He has stepped up the game in discipline of soldiers who are out in operational areas or in their own barracks.
New Ireland Province has been experiencing power outages from early in the mornings to the evenings. Power usually goes off after 6 a.m. and is restored between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. PNG Power Limited KVN Powerhouse said it is under critical generation deficiency, and they have been undertaking load shedding to maintain electricity to essential services since June 1st. The KVN office reported that current situation is tense with only one generator online, which is overriding all manual controls. As such, the reliability is subjected to the generation capacity. They have since then procured all required parts for the other units and are adamant to get one unit back online. PPL KVN is encouraging residents with embedded sets to maintain their own electricity. Member for Yalibupangia, Peter O'Neill, was interviewed by police this morning at the police headquarters in Port Moresby. The former Prime Minister was summoned by the Commissioner of Police, David Manning, over the weekend to present himself to police investigations to answer questions relating to allegations of perjury emanating from the UBS Commission of Inquiry. In a media statement, Manning said as per investigations in the UBS COI report, Mr. O'Neill had given false evidence while under oath. The Commission of Inquiry was to establish whether there were breaches of PNG laws and constitutional requirements in the negotiation and approval of the UBS loan, whether PNG as a country had suffered as a result of the deal, and whether the persons involved can be held accountable. This amateur video shows Mr. O'Neill emerging from inside the police headquarters at Konedobu to a crowd of supporters and members of the media. He appeared unfazed as he addressed the crowd.
But we will test this in court. It's only in regard to those statements. The 3 counts of a charge saying that I've lied under oath. And they believed my political opponents and other people who went and made statements in the Commission of Inquiry. And we will test all those in court. So I'm happy, and I want to say thank you to the police, especially the Crime Unit and the Assistant Commissioner, for giving me the opportunity to come in and have an interview. And they've acted professionally, despite much of the pressure coming from our political opponents. As many of you know, we have a constitutional reference going on. This is all part of the game that they're playing to try and intimidate me and harass me. But let me tell you that I am not going anywhere. I'll be here. Nobody will intimidate me and nobody will shut me up.
This is TVWAN News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance. I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future, because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, let's Calrace family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee Cola, scale rice on scale price. Tennessee Cola, scale rice on scale price. And you like it.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magical cuddle, get up and big smile on face. Time for give chicken a great food. Sip, sip, the moon. That's magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgera.
Fans, here we go. Floyd Mayweather has done it. He's a world champion. It's all over. The crowd comes to its feet. Champion of the world.
Don't miss mega fights, only on Fight Sports.
Right now, we're facing a man-made disaster of global scale. Our greatest threat in thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon.
Welcome back. More than 100 villagers of Upper Benna and Lower Benna LLG in Eastern Highlands participated in a financial literacy training. Those living near the Yasina Nature Park in Ward 7 of Ungai Benna District also participated. The 2-week training was supported and funded by the USAID agency. The 104 trainees graduated in Goroka recently. They were certified by training facilitator MiBank. Trainer Philip Tommy took the class through basics of bookkeeping, cash flow statement, budget, and inventory. The trained lot also opened new personal bank accounts with MiBank in Goroka. Director for Wildlife Conservation Society, Jennifer Byng, was a guest speaker at the graduation ceremony. She said financial literacy skills training provides a balance between managing SMEs carefully so we can depend on it also and not entirely on the environment. In the end, we sustainably use our resources. The Integrated Criminal Case System database is an offspring of the National Judiciary Staff Services in its infancy stages. It is set to roll out a pilot project in the Medan province. This initiative came about through lengthy and rigorous discussions, training and workshops with law and justice sector agencies, including the Royal PNG Constabulary, the Correctional Services and stakeholders.
The Integrated Criminal Case System database is a realization of the National Criminal Process Improvement Project 2013 of the government of PNG to embark on an innovative approach to improving law and justice agencies under the guidance of the National Coordination Mechanism. The National Coordination Mechanism developed the Sector Strategic Framework, which sets out the sector's vision of a just, safe and secure society for all. The SSF identifies 5 goals, including improving policing, safety and crime prevention, improved access to justice and just results, and improved accountability and reduced corruption. In an instance when a crime is committed and arrest done, police will now have to register this in the ICCSD system. From there, information of offender and details are entered and uploaded for the next agency to act upon, which will be the judiciary. They will enter all vital information regarding the trial and sentencing of the offender. Then it moves on to the correctional services, who will then input details of the sentencing, paroling, and other information. The system would ensure information and the officers involved in each case follow through a synchronized and more efficient process in ensuring data management, transparency, and accountability from start to finish. A vital partnership has been struck with the New South Wales Judiciary Commission and studies, workshops and dialogues initiated to roll out this database system. After so many trials, challenges and setbacks, Madang Province has now been chosen to roll out the pilot project. Chairman for NCPIP and Madang's resident judge, Justice Yova Gaeta, said he would back this project by ensuring that necessary funding is pumped into it to ensure its continuity.
So on our part, we are going to make sure that we continue to fight for funding from our government. I have told Mr. Kwara and the registrar, if it means I walk personally into the Prime Minister's office and demand that this project that we are doing is not something for the courts, it's a nationwide project, and it's far-reaching, affects right throughout the country. You put money where your mouth is. So I told them, if there are problems, you let me know, and I'll march to the Prime Minister's office and demand them. And so I will do that.
Jomba Police Station Commander Inspector Patrick Wallace recognizes the task at hand for police in initiating the process by ensuring that accurate data is being entered for all the other agencies to access and progress with.
For me as a station manager, I can also be in such a way that I see my policemen and women performing, or are they really working, or they're not individually. This is where it is also helping me with this data thing that you have already said at this station, but in this province, I should say.
In the coming week, participating agencies will receive one-on-one training on the Integrated Criminal Case System database. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
The Tuareg Mask Festival has officially been declared an annual event on the National Cultural Commission calendar. This was marked by a presentation of certificate to the custodians of the festival, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Gulf Provincial Government and the Cultural Commission will be done at a later date. Tuareg Village was the center of attraction over the weekend, attracting dancing groups from the hinterlands of Gulf and Central Kerema. The Tuareg Mask Festival over the years has brought together cultural groups from various parts of the Gulf province, showcasing traditional sing-sing, face painting, mat and basket weaving, and other tradition of Gulf art displayed.
We must get together. So this event will continue, and we will make sure that it continues and keeps on going. Those who are singing, to those who are making pepea, to those who are making bows and arrows, to those who are making the cane masks, doing the paintings, and telling the stories, pass them on. Pass them on. Pass them on to your children. Pass them on to your grandchildren. Pass them on to your families, to your sons, to your daughters. That is your responsibility.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2820 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2745 US, $0.4042 Australian dollars, $0.2480 euro, and $0.3787 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, cocoa, copra, palm oil and copper closed higher, the rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX is trading higher, and all ordinaries is trading higher as well. And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With PSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of of that worry when you pass away. The benefits of the BSP life insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life. He loves the Maroons. He loves the Blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SP Laga, Bungimyumi.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young plana lapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Knockouts, only on Fight Sports.
Tasmania is Australia's smallest state, lying about 240 kilometres south of the mainland. Join me on my journey through this beautiful island state as I experience the produce, people and culture that makes this an unforgettable island.
Welcome back. In regional news, Pacific is yet again raising concern on the plan by Japan to release water from the crippled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant into the Pacific Ocean. Acting Secretary General of the Pacific Islands Forum, Dr. Philemon Manoni, says the Pacific cannot ignore the pressing challenges of pollution, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, warming and acidification, and the erosion of marine biodiversity. And the challenge now presented by Japan's decision to discharge radioactive wastewater into the Pacific. Dr. Manoni said the potential impacts of such a discharge are still unknown. Parents are being warned children could be at greater risk of the flu this year as the numbers of cases soar.
Experts are urging parents to get themselves and their children vaccinated against influenza. They say that vaccination rates this flu season aren't high enough, and that they say the current dominant strain of influenza, that's influenza A H1, is particularly affecting young people, children under 16, making up a large portion of the cases diagnosed so far. The federal government's influenza surveillance program has reported more than 57,000 laboratory-confirmed cases of influenza diagnosed so far. That's just over the past couple of months. And In the hospitals that are taking part in the influenza surveillance program, more than 500 people have been admitted with influenza. 76% of those are children under the age of 16. Health experts say this season it appears there's a much lower uptake of the flu shot. Only about 28% of Australians have been vaccinated so far. And they say that that's particularly concerning. They say there appears to be complacency or hesitancy among the community after years of vaccination messaging. They say groups which normally are quite good at taking up the flu vaccine, especially vulnerable older Australians, this year much lower rates of vaccination. Only 56% of people 65 plus have had the shot so far. Health experts urging everyone to get the shot. They say it's the simplest way to keep you and your family safe this flu season.
New Zealand Defence Minister Andrew Little departs for Suva Tuesday to meet with his Fiji counterpart, Minister for Home Affairs and Immigration, Pio Tikoduadua, to further strengthen the relationship between both countries. While in Fiji, the ministers will sign a Status of Forces agreement providing a legal framework for New Zealand and Fijian military forces to effectively cooperate within each other's territories. They will also discuss a range of defense and security issues. This agreement will allow New Zealand and Fiji to work together more effectively to lift cooperation in areas that support security and stability in the Pacific, including humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Millions of dollars will be spent in this week's state budget to boost the numbers of frontline police officers in South Australia. And in a bid to curb crime and antisocial behaviour in Adelaide's CBD, restrictions on the sale of takeaway alcohol are being extended.
Plenty of people feel safe enough moving around Adelaide's CBD.
It's got a great atmosphere and we always try to come during our long weekends when we can.
I don't go down Hanley Street on a weekend, so maybe it's a different vibe down there, but I've never felt unsafe in Adelaide.
While others are more wary.
Just people randomly grabbing you and everything, just
attack
you
and screaming out at you and all that.
There are times when, you'll see some, aggressive people or other stuff. There is no doubt that crime rates are up. If you look at the rolling 12-month crime figures, crime across the state is certainly up.
Restrictions on the sale of large amounts of takeaway liquor in the CBD have been extended until December, a trial to see if it will reduce antisocial behaviour backed by SA Police.
We welcome that because I think when you can take some control of those issues and the consumption of alcohol, you see a change in behaviour.
Alcohol by itself is not the issue, but the volume of consumption is an issue, and this is a very sensible step that's been taken by the Liquor Licensing Commissioner, one that I support.
This liquor limit extension is the third announcement made today, with the government also revealing a $12 million police recruitment package and increased police security officers to free up police for frontline duties. It will cost $81 million to hire 189 police security officers who will work with prisoners, guard crime scenes and carry out welfare checks.
This new funding that we're announcing today will give us the pipeline to be able to get those people on the front line.
What we really need is more police officers on the beat, not just PSOs.
The state budget will be handed down on Thursday.
The King's Birthday Honours List has been announced, recognising outstanding contributions to defence. Among the 72 ADF personnel honoured are the Chief of Navy, the highest-ranking woman in the Australian Army, and an exceptional aviator. Vice Admiral Mark Hammond receives an Officer of the Order of Australia for his exceptional leadership. Lieutenant General Natasha Fawkes is promoted for her contributions to defence capability, while Air Vice Marshal Stephen Meredith is recognised for his aviation skills. Deputy Secretary Defence People Justin Gregg receives the Public Service Medal. And now, the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you.
How would you describe your mother?
My mom is beautiful. She is strong like Superwoman. I love my mom because she always takes care of me.
My mom, she's so patient and loving. I feel she's always around.
Caring. She works so hard and always wants the best for me.
She's soft like her love.
My mom is everything, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Softland, fragrance of a mother's love.
My kids have the soil in their hand almost 1 year. When I started applying the oil every night, the soil dried up.
The Great Crusade of Faith and Miracles, with the free distribution of blessed oil. Join us at Sir John Guy's Indoor Stadium on June 18th at 10 a.m. Call 7422-9960 or 7899-8678.
You got to load your gun and you got to fire away. It's his last chance, Freddie, here. He knows that.
Why is it so hard for New South Wales to win at Suncorp Stadium?
No, nothing's impossible.
Here they come. Pass from Martin. There's the Penrith combination. The pass for Cobo. It's another one for Queensland. A reward for sustained pressure.
The martial arts have been practiced for centuries. Forged out of an ancient Asian world of mayhem and intimidation. But in fact, they're all about self-defense, discipline, and honor. This is XMA, the world of extreme martial arts.
Watch Extreme Martial Arts, only on Fight Sports.
WWE! This is your chance! Swanton! He hit it! Oh no, Mommy! Do something! Oh my God!
Get ready for a mouth-watering dive into the wild with Mike Robinson.
Look at that!
Good job.
Ow!
It's the ultimate catch and cook.
I have noticed that you have not gutted it.
I tend not to gut it.
There's so much flavour.
That's stunning, to be fair.
You know, we're enacting what our ancestors did. It's in our DNA to do this.
Fishing the Wild. Streaming now on Outdoor.
Welcome back. The inaugural OFC Women's Champions League tournament in Papua New Guinea has received praise from Gianluca Famigil, manager of FIFA Women's Football competitions. Famigil made the long journey to Port Moresby from Zurich and returns home full of optimism about the potential for women's football in Oceania. A huge congratulations to AS Academy for taking out the title, winning all 4 of their matches. PNG's very own Hekari United FC finished second with 3 wins and 1 loss. They had the best disciplinary record as well, not picking up any yellow card, conceding to the 100-minute goal by AS Academy in their opening match, ultimately decided the tournament outcome for the PNG Lasses. Coach Erickson Komang gives his thoughts following Hekari United's final and successful match at OFC's Women's Champions League 2023.
I think they came in numbers today and they pushed us through the game. Without Mari, we won't have the fighting spirit. She did well with her leadership and the talent. She has a good bonus for us, and I think we wanted to finish the tournament on a high note, and we did that today.
Yeah, the players are talented, and each of the team is clearly trying to professionalize themselves with their roles, with the coaching staff, and with the coaching practice. The experience attending the OFC Women's Champions League has been amazing. And for us, it's very important to learn and get an understanding as much as possible on the ground, because that's the only way we can understand what is football in the Pacific region.
Host Hekari United may have fell short of grabbing the inaugural women's OFC title at home, but there are some individual performances that prove they are still the team to be reckoned with in the Oceania region. Hekari received a fair play team of the tournament and scored the highest of 17 goals over other teams that participated in the tournament. Most of these goals came from skipper Marie Kaipu, who undoubtedly was bestowed the Golden Boot Award.
Hekari United power forward Mari Kaipu was everywhere in the opposition's penalty area and was always a threat for the opponents in all-round matches. She was a danger, and when she was not well contained, she made them pay for it. The Hekari United captain scored 9 out of 17 goals for the team. She booted 5 in the match against Samoa's Kiwi FC, netted another 3 against Kolowale FC of Solomon Islands, and wrapped it up with 2 more goals in the final match against Fiji's Labasa FC. Mari scored in all the matches throughout the competition, making her the highest goal scorer. Her input in the team was massive. Coach Komang said it was unfortunate to have finished as runners-up, but overall it was a very good tournament for the ladies. Mari is expected to be around in the league for a while. Now, the responsibility is on her to win another competition and get her side to qualify for another OFC tournament. She is already a superstar and fan favorite. Players like Maikolin Butubu and others are not far behind. They were effective and contributed fairly in the tournament.
The NCDC Moniplus Port Moresby Vipers were impressive in the first home game at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium, despite the dominant display by the opposition team. Nikki Asu steered the side around the park very well, and Gilmore Paul was all-class, crossing the line twice for the try. This leveled up the scoreboard 12-all against the 2 early tries to Kenny and Gabitana. But the late surge from the ISO sealed the win for the ISO with a last-minute try. The Gulf ISO has now registered the first win of the Huey Cup. Here are the match highlights from the Vipers' home ground.
It is a Lexan Mobile Cup. Rugby league action continues here at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium for the first time in a long time, with the Vipers at home to pluck it out of the air. And then here's Kenny Laho, his first game back. He's going to score. Yes, Kenny Laho. Defensive effort there from the Gulf ISO. Here's trouble. And just like that, the Vipers have hit back. And it's Gilmore Paul. And right. They go right. Bello. Nice ball there. And this time it's Gabitana.
Class. Too good.
The Vipers big man now doing all the hard work through the middle. Nikki Hasso inside ball, finding the skipper. Still going, looking for support. The ball went backwards. 6 moves to call Tania. Here's Nikki Hasso looking for support, and it's that man. Show and go. Here's Bello stepping his way through.
Put your hand down! Put your hand down!
Yes!
And he gets it!
I got it!
Put your head down, son.
And that's full time. Defeating the big boys from the Big Smoke. The Port Moresby Vipers 18 points to 12 at full time.
The PNG Hunters piled on points against the Western Clydesdales on Saturday, defeating the visiting team with whooping 40 points to 4 win. This is Hunters' second time this season to score 40 points against an opposition. Here are the highlights from this spectacular win at the Santos National Football Stadium over the weekend.
When these two sides last met early in the year, the scoreline was 20-10 in favor of the PNG Hunters. But this scoreline at home projects a different story for the PNG team. Hunters registered a first try of the match on the 13th minute through prop Tommy Moide. The conversion by Trevor Solu was successful and the Hunters took the early lead 6 points to 0. Following the Nihana Olgan era on the 21st minute, Hunters capitalized on this and scored in the next set through captain Brandon Lima. Sani Wabo and Philemon Kimiseve ran in for the interchange with Tommy Moide and Sil Kalo respectively. Kimiseve made an error on the first touch, but the visitors couldn't capitalize on the error to constitute one for themselves. Joshua Lau made them pay for it as he crossed the line for another Hunters try. The conversion was successful and the home team headed into the sheds for half-time break, leading 16-0. Despite making a couple of errors, Kimiseve crossed over for the opening try of the second half. With the conversion successful, the home team was leading comfortably on 22 points. In the 45th minute, Sani Wabo made the break and sprinted away to score one for himself, extending the lead for the Hunters to 28 points to 0. The one-sided affair went as the Joshua Lau made another break to set Morea into the space for another Hunters try. Hunters was on 34 points after the successful conversion, but the Clydesdales were yet to score. After a dangerous tackle from Joshua Lau, Clydesdales capitalized on it and scored their only try. Hunters centre Roderick Tai crossed the line in the 71st minute after he made a line break to seal the match 40 points to 4. With this win, the Hunters now sits in 10th position on the points ladder. They are facing the ladder leaders, the Magpies, at the Santos National Football Stadium this Saturday.
PNG Hunters coach Stanley Teppen was more relieved than happy with the Hunters' dominant performance to record their second consecutive win at home against new club Western Clydesdales on Saturday. Teppen was forced to make a call at the 11th hour when first choice 5'8" Jamie Mavoko was scratched from the team due to suspension, while Junior Igila pulled out with an injury. However, coach Teppen stuck with his young guns, a spine reshuffle with Trevor Solu at 9, Judah Rimbu in 7 and Josh Mire at 6 to lead the team to a convincing 40-4 scoreline at full time.
The boys stuck to what we spoke about, just keeping it really simple. I think for the first 20-25 minutes, just got in a bit of a grind, and then eventually they cracked. So I think they stood to the plan, and yeah, it was good to have that win like that. And we had a young spine there, the 6, 7, 9, Tapia, Josh Mira and Judah. I think they're all young, so they controlled the game really well. No concerns. I think that towards the end there, I think Sil Carlo was probably the only one that got a head knock. So we'll have to see how he pulls up. But yeah, it's going to be a good headache for us when all the suspension and injury boys come back. So yeah, hopefully we can keep it going.
The Western Clydesdales' inaugural trip to Port Moresby for their round 13 clash against the PNG Hunters on Saturday was an experience of a lifetime for majority of the team in their first season back at the QRL Host Plus level. However, for team captain Darren Schoenig, this was his fourth time to return to PNG since his days with Melbourne Storm feeder club Sunshine Coast Falcons, which is always an unbelievable experience.
Despite not getting the result in their round 13 clash against the PNG Hunters on Saturday, the visiting Western Clydesdales would surely embrace and treasure their lifetime experience, playing in front of a completely different atmosphere and hostile reception, showing their love and passion for the home team. However, for Clydesdale captain Darren Schoening and a few older boys, it's probably the third or fourth time coming to play in Port Moresby, which is always exciting but very physical.
I thought the first 20 minutes, we looked like we were probably it was going to be a close one, or we might have been able to, go home with the win. But yeah, it definitely blew out. Your boys were great, man. They were really good today. Very physical, like we expected. But yeah.
Schoening said it's been tough for the boys, especially trying to build new combinations and a strong vibe in the team. He praised the Hunters for their fast and physical style of footy. That's a positive takeaway for his boys build up on their mental toughness and harness their confidence moving forward.
We're a start-up club. This is our first year in the comp, so we're still working out a lot of things. I think we can take a lot out of that first 20 minutes. I think it was a really good game of grinding football from both teams. It was just very fast-flowing. There wasn't many errors. I think, this is probably a bit of mental grit for us coming over here. It's very hot. It's a very physical game, always against the Hunters. So I think, probably a bit of mental toughness taken away from this.
Schoening is not new to Port Moresby, but for majority of the playing group, it's a lifetime experience coming out of their own backyard to experience PNG.
So this is my fourth time coming to PNG. I always really look forward to it. It's a really cool trip. It takes you out of your backyard. But yeah, it's probably about 3 or 4 of us boys have been here prior to this, so it's a completely new experience for the whole squad. So yeah, a lot of eye-opening times for the lads, and so it's been pretty cool, man.
Salome Vincent, TV1 Sports.
West Tigers halfback Luke Brooks has reportedly made the bombshell decision to depart the Leichhardt club at the season's end, with a rival NRL club rumored to be his next destination. The 28-year-old is without a contract for 2024 and will now hit the open market, according to the Daily Telegraph. Tigers power brokers had reportedly tabled a 2-year extension worth north of $1 million to retain the halfback, but he informed assistant Benji Marshall on his decision on Sunday. Brooks made his debut as an 18-year-old at the Tigers and has gone on to play more than 200 games for the major club. Head coach Tim Sheens made no secret of his desires to retain Brooks amid reports linking him to a move to the Super League. Leeds Rhinos were reportedly weighing up a bid for his services, while rival NRL club will now be sharpening their pencils. And that ends the news tonight. Pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.